Does that actually feel important to people? Does people feel like that's what like female equality is? Because that's like, I don't
Right.
need that.
Do you know how many times I've DM'd Drake? He's not answered me once.
75 days to go until I marry my best friend.
Oh.
First of all, 75 days, we're a while out.
So I was trying to figure it out, and I don't know, hours and hours spent on it. Where I landed is I'm jealous.
It went pretty well. Kind of like a first date. You're like, okay, nothing egregious happened.
Here's my thought. Here's my question.
Hey, welcome back. This is a podcast. You know it's true. I'm your hater, Caroline, and you got a lover here, Jess, who is pretty sick at the moment.
Hi. It's me. I've come
Oh
back.
my God.
I've come back from the dead, but I'm not much better. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on your podcast, Caroline. I think this week my mindset is like, this is still Caroline's running the show, continuing from Hater Hour last week, and I'm just here for color commentary with this gravelly, low voice.
Yeah, you're here to provide the sex appeal, the gravel, and yeah, we're gonna just continue the hater hour. I'm gonna monologue despite.
Yeah. I was actually thinking, because I was thinking when I was listening to your Hater Hour and like reacting to it in my head, especially with the Kevin Jonas stuff, how much I wanted to like scream the answer. Luckily, Abby did that for me in her edit. And then I was thinking about recording today too, and how like I don't know how much I'm going to be able to have a back and forth conversation. And I was like, I wonder if there's a format for the podcast that we haven't done yet, but maybe we should, where one of us records a solo episode and then like completely alone, like on your own timing, and then sends it to the other one, and we record ourselves reacting, and then that's
like
what we
that.
put out,
and it's interspliced. It's
interspliced.
So
Yes.
it's like me asking over and over again, is there any way to know the third Jonas brother? And you're just like screaming at me, but I can't hear it because you've
Exactly, because you
later.
recorded it
Oh,
the day before me. Yeah. If we
ooh,
ever
that's
have
an
issues with like
innovation.
scheduling with each other, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, that's fine. You do today, I'll do tomorrow.
That would be great. Oh, I love that. I like that idea.
Yeah, but I loved it. And I mean, can I just real quick tell a Jonas Brothers story? I'm already taking over your podcast.
Yeah, you're welcome to. Tell me about the Jonas brothers.
Okay. It's not even my story, I guess. It's my sister's story. But when she was in high school, so I was in college, I wasn't living at home. She went to a Jonas Brothers concert with my dad because, like, for whatever reason, she just got 2 tickets. My dad was like, I'll take you. Her friends weren't going or something. And they got back from the concert, and my dad had like stars in his eyes. He was in love with the Jonas Brothers. And I remember specifically him saying that Kevin Jonas was his favorite, which is like, he's no one's favorite. Many people forget
He's
what
no
his
one's
name
favorite.
is.
He's not even the Jonas parents' favorite. Like,
Right.
what did he
He's
say?
not
What did
the
he say about that?
singer. He mostly plays guitar and does like background vocals. My dad said
Okay.
he was like an undiscovered gem and that everyone's wrong about him. So I was thinking of him when you struggled to learn his name. My other comment about the Jonas Brothers, I could say a lot about the Jonas Brothers.
I
think on our
knew that you could.
Instagram,
I'm gratified. I feel gratified, grateful that my instincts were correct here.
yeah, no, yeah, gratified, validated, whatever. I was okay. I have so many comments. So one of the comments is, did you realize that there's a fourth Jonas brother who's not in the band? Are you not as much of a fan
No.
aware of that? Mm-hmm.
Oh no, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the Jonas Brothers. I just like grew up when they were on Disney Channel and stuff, so I know of Jonas, but I don't know
Sure.
anything else about them basically. I don't even know which
Yeah.
one is Jonas. Yeah. Is the fourth one Jonas? The fourth
one is Jonas.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! What if they're Jonas's brothers and the fourth one is Jonas, but he's just not in the band?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? You know what
The
I mean?
way that we can play with an apostrophe S.
Yes,
Amazing.
the way, yes, let's make it grammatical. Okay. Okay, who's the fourth
They
Jonas
have a
brothers?
younger
That
they have a
one's
younger brother
Jeremy?
who was too young at the time when the band started. Like, he was like 7 when the rest of them were
Okay.
teenagers, so he wasn't going to be in the band.
Wow.
His name is Frankie.
Oh
And
no, I'm Googling it. Okay.
Frankie Jonas, they used to refer to him as the bonus Jonas. And
Oh,
currently there's actually, now he's like a grown up because it's like 10 years later. And
Yeah.
there's actually
Because
some
that's how time
show.
works. Because that's
Yeah.
how time works.
There's some show that's coming out that I keep getting Instagram ads for that's like about celebrities' unfamous siblings. And
Yeah.
Kevin
Have you ever
Jonas,
Googled? Okay. I was gonna
Kevin
say, have you
Jonas
ever
and
Googled?
Frankie Jonas are the hosts of this show.
Oh, that's tough for Kevin Jonas because Kevin Jonas was, for all intents and purposes, supposed to be one of the famous known celebrity siblings, but it just didn't pan out. It just
No,
didn't
yeah.
take.
He's like, I am famous. I got the hosting gig, but oh, I guess my unfamous brother is also getting it. So what's that mean for
That's
me?
hilarious.
Yeah. Um, what was my
Frankie
third and
Jonas.
final Jonas point? Oh, I have so many things to react to, even though I can't talk. On our Instagram story, you yesterday when you announced the hater hour had come out, you were wearing an orange top, and you said you referenced your high school yearbook page
Yes.
in wearing this orange top. Would you like to tell the listeners, give us the background, and then I'll say my reaction.
Sure. So, like between our brand colors here at Not For Everyone headquarters, purple and orange, Jess promptly claimed purple. I will say she was like, "It looks good on me," to which I would reply, it looks good on both of us, and orange looks good on neither of us. We have very similar coloring, actually, like
Yeah, we
olive
do.
skin tone. Yeah. So Jess told me purple looks good on her, and I said I agree, but that doesn't mean that orange looks good on me. But whatever, that's what was left over. But so I didn't choose orange, but I have always liked orange. It's always been my favorite color because as a kid, I just remember knowing in my bones that the orange crayon was the most like viscerally satisfying to color with. It was just like it was very creamy. It was
Wow.
very creamy,
Really?
very
Something about the
perfect amount of
pigment.
saturation. Oh, yes, it was because of the orange crayon. I was like, this is what the coloring experience is supposed to be. And then I always just kind of loved orange. And then at some point along the line, I heard this quote from Van Gogh that was like, orange is the color of insanity. He uses a lot of orange in his paintings.
I
And I
love it.
read that and I was like, this dude gets it. That's true. It is the color of insanity. And so that was, you like put a stupid yearbook quote with your senior photo. I think a lot of like
Mhm.
yearbook photos do a quote. And why was that my quote? I don't know. I was just like so desperate to let everyone know that I felt crazy, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
But that
I
was my
actually
that was my quote. Orange is the color of insanity.
yeah. Okay, so
Was
first
it
on our colors.
it wasn't like something inspirational or motivational or about my dreams. It was just like I feel crazy.
Well,
Been a great
okay.
time. Have a great summer.
So first of all, I actually was looking at our yearbook from senior year like not too long ago because I was showing my boyfriend. I think he asked like about you in high school or something. So I was like, let me get the yearbook out. And your photo, your main photo on your senior page was also
Oh
it was a
yeah.
picture from this musical that we were both in, Seussical the musical. I think it was from that. And you were
Yeah, I
wearing this like
a
crazy
wig.
outfit with a colorful
Yeah.
wig. So you
I
really wanted people to
refused.
know.
I no, yeah, I refused to get a senior portrait taken. And it was just like a photo someone took on their digital camera, I think in our locker room,
Yeah,
of me in like a blue wig and a tutu. And I was like, that's my senior photo. Yeah.
exactly.
But I was really happy in that picture. And
Oh my gosh, it's the
I thought I looked
best.
fucking cute. I'm gonna be honest, I thought I looked fucking cute.
You
And I think
did
I
look
did.
cute.
I
And
did
I'm
look
pretty
cute.
sure he looked at your page and was like, this makes sense. So it stands the test of time.
The test of time.
Meanwhile, my page, and the reason I brought this up is because I had a Jonas Brothers quote
Oh
on my senior yearbook page. So if you think your Van Gogh reference wasn't cool, you're wrong. My Jonas
God.
Brothers reference wasn't cool.
What's the
Um,
quote? And which Jonas, or was it a collective quote?
it's a quote from a song. It's a lyric.
Okay,
Because my sister and I
probably
have,
written by none of them.
yeah, exactly. Some guy wrote it, Charlie Puth or something. Um, what song is it? It's from the song That's Just the Way We Roll, which like was one of me and my sister's favorite songs. I have so many fond memories of the
Can you
Jonas
sing it?
Brothers
Can you give us an
in
excerpt?
this voice right
In
now.
this voice. That's what's gonna make it so special. Yeah,
Okay,
in
the
this voice.
lyric was like, and I know we get a little crazy, and I know we get a little loud, and I know
Oh,
we're never gonna shake it. We are wild, We are free. We are more than just freaks. Because that's just the way we roll. Something like that.
Whoa!
I could sound a lot better on that if I wasn't sick right now. That was really difficult.
You know what's great though is that you can still hear through your illness what a good singing voice you have.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, Caitlin and I used to like religiously, whenever we were in the car together, play the Jonas Brothers. We still do it to this day, like blast it and sing along. I feel like my excuse for loving them was that I had a sister who was 4 years younger than me, so I could like get away with it a little more.
Yeah, that's why I fucked with a lot of Caillou.
Yeah,
you remember Caillou?
Because Julia is so much younger than you.
I had a sister who was 8 years younger than me. I was like, I can't hang out today. I gotta watch Caillou.
Caillou was like really freaking soothing. Like that guy,
yeah,
wise beyond his years. He was like,
well,
a baby.
He was like a little monk. He was a little bald 4-year-old.
Yeah, that's right.
Y'all know Caillou? Y'all should look up Caillou. Yeah.
Does Caillou mean? Is that a French word?
It sounds very French.
I think it might mean pebble. Maybe I'm making that up.
Okay,
but I feel like I remember.
We gotta start fact. I don't know if we should start fact checking live. I get a lot of feedback from listeners and my boyfriend about facts that
are not facts.
Things we say that are not facts.
Alternative facts.
It means pebble or stone in French.
I got it.
Nicknamed. Wait, now I'm going deep on the Caillou Wikipedia page.
Sure.
Okay, if it's on Wikipedia, do you remember, speaking of fact checking, do you remember how when we had to do like annotated bibliographies and we were doing these projects in high school and these hoes were breaking their back to teach us how to like use the library system and proper sources, and they were like, you can't look things up on Wikipedia. You can't just go on Wikipedia. I would say yes, you can.
Wikipedia, it's the most credible place for any information.
It's the most credible. Yeah. Prove me wrong.
I was just thinking that today. I was listening to a podcast.
Wikipedia is great.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast. They were referencing something and they like looked it up the same way we just did. And there were two competing facts. And the person who was referencing Wikipedia won. They were like, yeah. Let's just trust Wikipedia. Obviously.
Yeah. So based on that single anecdote, I think we're correct.
Okay. I mean, we are correct. Pebble, there's a reason that I remember that. I mean, there wasn't a reason that I said it in this conversation. I just wanted to flex my French knowledge. And that baby, Caillou, did always make me think of a pebble because he was like, he seemed very soft and smooth.
Yeah, he had a head like a pebble.
He had a head like a
pebble. Okay, so do you want to hear the fact that apparently it's not accurate? 2, double whammy.
Okay.
So do you remember our episodes we were talking about the moon?
So many people have vindicated me.
Okay, but I'm also okay. It's a double.
Or is it still wrong?
So
okay.
You were right about one. You were wrong about one. I was wrong about everything. So you still win.
Okay.
Moon and month do share a root frickin' etymology. It's just not Latin. I was like, oh, that's not Latin. And it's not, because it actually turns out that there's other languages out there.
That are roots of things.
That are roots. There be other roots out there. I'll stand corrected. However, full moons do not happen at the end of the month.
Somebody told me that too.
They happened to. It's so crazy to be corrected when we are science women.
We're science women.
Science women.
Because the term scientist is actually sexist, so we should broaden it to science women and science men and science non-binary people. Yes.
That's so annoying to me. It is weird to me when people are like, why do we have the gender distinctions? And I don't know if we're getting on a hot topic now.
Sure.
Like,
what are
some of the ones they do, like
mailman,
mailman, mail woman?
Yeah.
Why is that? Does that actually feel important to people? Does people feel like that's what like female equality is? Because that's like, I don't need that. I don't need that for equality. We're not changing the word doctor based on your gender. I would actually think that like we could all understand that the use of man in the phrase mailman has come to like represent something. That's not really like, I'm a pretty hardcore feminist, and saying male woman doesn't do much for me. Do people like need that?
I'm pretty sure that we addended the Constitution to say that when man is referenced throughout the Constitution, it's inclusive of women, right? So we at least as an American society have accepted that that like man means like mankind, means like humankind, means all of us. So
Yeah.
I'm cool with it too. I think we're all clear. Like, let's get paid more.
Totally. Yeah. It's a big pet peeve to me when people nitpick those things. I'm like, okay, that's the one. That's the one you
Well, it's
want to
the
fight
same
for.
thing with
It's also,
like,
it's too many syllables. It's extra labor. Now we're doing extra labor. Like if I could get behind like something short, hose, like a mailman and a
yeah,
mailman, male hoe, fine. Don't make me say
please,
extra syllables.
male
That sounds
bitch.
like labor. Mail bitch.
I'd say we could use that for either sex, so that would work
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually, I'm fine with that. Male sluts of the universe. It could be anybody.
It does make me think about the recent like movement against using the term guys, which I totally
I'm gonna kill
reject.
someone. I'm gonna kill
It's
someone.
so, we went to all girls school and
Yeah.
we were always saying guys at that all girls school. Like, it is known that that's a colloquialism that refers to whoever the people are that
No
you're with.
shit,
Like, I
bitches.
don't feel
I
left
think
out by it.
this is the thing. I think some people, okay, we're about to lose some subscribers, so I hope you're on board with that. But I think some people don't know. They're like, okay, I'm down with feminism, but they're not actually sure how to pursue it. And so
Yeah.
they're like, maybe being a feminist looks like this. Let me tell you, it's not the sounds that you're making. It's really not about the sounds you're making. It's not whether you say, hey, first of all, let me fucking tell you what, greeting a group of women as hey ladies, that
Ugh,
I don't
condescending
like.
as fuck. Yeah.
Please don't ever say hey ladies to me.
I'm not a
You may
lady.
say hey gentlemen, hey sir. You can call me sir. That's fine with me. Don't ever say hey lady to me.
Totally agree. Yeah, we're brother kings. Like, have we not made that clear?
We have announced that we are brother kings.
This is a monarchy of men.
Yeah.
I totally agree. It is like an attempt to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to be more woke. I'm going to be more feminist. What are the words? Words are like just scratching the surface. It's not actually what's bothering anybody. But
I know
it's like
there's,
an easy attempt to be superficially conscious of it. It's like,
but
oh, I'm inclusive because I don't.
yeah.
There was somebody I used to work with, really liked him, really nice guy, but like, he was of an older generation and was a little bit unintentionally, I'll give him credit, but unintentionally like a male chauvinist in some conversations in some areas. And
Right.
he was one of the people at that company that was like adamant we should stop saying guys. Every single woman who worked at that company was like,
don't give him
this
a pay
doesn't
raise.
bother me.
Yeah, don't give
all.
anyone a pay raise, but we are gonna say hey y'all now.
Exactly. We were like,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Like, the fact that you ask me to schedule the lunch for every single meeting, that's what I would like to stop. You know, that's the part of being a woman that makes it different in a corporate setting. Like,
and I think the devil's advocate, not even devil's advocate, but I think the counter argument to some degree, some people will be like, hey, words do matter. And like, yes, I agree, language does matter. But I think you have to do like a cost benefit analysis of what it is costing you for your mission. I think like this, it is the benefit of, first of all, ignoring the fact that in this context, like guys, yes, maybe it technically means men, but like words and meaning and association changes and evolves over time. Like that's what will continue to happen in language for as long as we live. And actually meanings do change over time. It can have a new meaning and have a new association. And even with like male man, male woman, I think the benefit of getting everybody to change to male woman is not worth the cost, which is fucking annoying people over something that is actually a legitimate cause. It is actually legitimate. So to me, the cost of like being fucking petty about the thing that doesn't matter is not, it's not free. It doesn't come free to nitpick those things. Like you pay a price for it. And to me, that price is not worth it. Let's focus on the real shit, you idiots.
Yeah, really well put. I mean, yeah. When you said like words matter, we agree. Like, we have a podcast. We know that words matter. Like, we're saying words into a microphone all the fucking time.
Our words don't matter.
No, but we contribute to a library of words that exists in the world.
Well, because in my head,
because some of them matter.
Some of them matter. And in my head, I'm hearing people being like, what about pronouns and like that gender identity? Obviously, that has more weight. I'm not talking about that.
The cost benefit is higher there. It's how an individual identifies that's different than like a word in our dictionary that defines a job that like
a male bitch.
Yeah, I mean, we've solved that one anyway, so I think we can move on.
I think we've solved all this. It's so once again, it's really cool how we take these complex problems and boil them down into answers.
into words to live by. Speaking of words that matter, words to live by. You told me that you had like things you wanted to discuss today, updates, etc. I have little ditties.
Oh, I do have updates.
I want to know yours.
I have a lot of updates. First, I would like to confirm, yes, I'm seeing the DMs. Yes, I have been essentially drinking Tide Pods for the past couple months. Nobody knows how long. A couple people wrote in and let me know that there are a lot of mental health decline.
Literally people being like, oh, the
Pods.
reason that you've been like not doing well lately and like wanting to go back to therapy and stuff might be tied to this. I was like, shit.
It actually might be, because the unwell I've been experiencing the last couple months is unlike anything I've had in years. I was not this unstable going through a massive breakup, like living alone, starting my life over. Like
You've done hard things.
I've done things before. So I'm gonna chalk it up to the Tide Pods. Oh wait. Oop, are you there?
I'm here, but it was freezing up a little bit.
Yeah, something broke up. I still have the GarageBand recording, but something is freezing up.
Okay. Everything's still running. The video just froze for a second, but I think we can keep going.
I have, yes. So yes. Okay. Yes. Eating Tide Pods confirmed. A lot of people also want me to, I got a lot of diagnoses over the weekend when I shared some of this stuff. I'm going to feel free to ignore all of them. However, I have been on the mission of trying to get a therapist. I saw the same therapist for 7 years. She also practices in another state, and I need someone in person. I feel a lot of value from like the in-person therapy. I'm interested in getting a new approach. Whatever. I haven't been in therapy. Obviously, I'm eating Tide Pods. It's not going that well. And
the least of your problems is therapy.
And now I've decided, I saw one therapist, had an initial session. It went pretty well. Kind of like a first date. You're like, okay, nothing egregious happened. I don't know how perfect the fit is, but like, I'll see, I'll see what the hookup is like. And then I had a consultation scheduled with a second one, and I just kept the consultation. And that one was actually felt like an even better connection. So now I think I'm just going to see both of them. So I've gone from 0 therapists to 2. And I'm actually really excited.
That's a great approach to finding a new therapist. If you have the means and the ability through your insurance or whatever to see multiple at the same time, it's like dating. It's like, let me see over a few weeks, over a few like hangs, a few sessions with these people, which one is a better fit. And then maybe you'll stick with both. Maybe you'll just end up like sticking with one longer term, but that's not a bad approach.
I could definitely see it becoming a problem long term to have like conflicting inputs, but it became feasible because by some miracle I did get my insurance to cover one of them almost entirely. So I'm just basically paying for the other therapist. But maybe I'll just see them both for like a handful of sessions and see, because this is the experience this is the experience actually that I had a lot in dating as well, which was you like don't remember what you're missing. And it's so that's why when I was like dating a new person, I would like force them to come meet my sister or my world or my people really quickly, especially when you're kind of in a vacuum. I couldn't tell. I was like, I can't tell if this is, sometimes I couldn't tell if this is connection or not. Like I can tell that I don't want to shoot myself in the head, but it's like not until you meet deep connection that you remember all the things you've been giving up, kind of. And sometimes like putting people in context helped me get back in touch with that. And I think it's kind of the same with a therapist. When someone's really not working for you, but I'm gonna date around. I'm gonna fuck around.
Compare and contrast.
Safely.
I'm happy for you that you are getting back into it. I've been going to therapy every week for the past 3 or 4 weeks, which is
she's healthy. She's
not something I've done in like several months or longer than that. Actually, I don't think I've been to weekly therapy in years. Like I was kind of seeing my therapist like once a month or maybe once every other week. But bye, Justin.
Hi, Justin. We love you.
Yeah, so lately, I mean, people know because I needed a week off last week and now I'm sick because my mental health is like perpetuating into my physical health. But yeah, I've been like dealing with some difficult personal stuff and I've been back in therapy and let me tell you, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. I mean, and I was like, I really had a moment the first session that I went back and it was like immediately groundbreaking and helpful where I was like, whoa, I thought that I had it all figured out. I thought I've been going to this therapist for 8 years and like I can hear her voice in my head. I don't need to like pay her in a session to know what she would say and how to kind of like ground myself and how to manage my anxiety. Like I've been doing this for a long time. And when shit hits the fan and like you go back, you're like, oh shit, I know nothing. I needed this. Like,
Yeah.
and I have the benefit too of my therapist is someone I've been seeing for a long time and feel like I have more of a personal relationship with where she'll literally tell me what to do sometimes, which I don't think they're supposed to. She'll always ask, like, do you want me to like say something a little more, like give you a push? And I'm like,
Can
tell
you
me
give me?
exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And she does it.
I also do like that. I think like in theory, okay, in theory, I don't know, like therapy approaches continue to transform through the years. And so that like whatever like the most recommended therapy approach is now, and there's a bunch of different modalities, like it will probably continue to change. And maybe the future one, it'll be more mainstream to be like, we used to like not give coaching, not give direction, but like it can be helpful in some arenas. And sometimes I
Yeah,
find it extremely helpful. Like that's often what I want to hear from people. If I trust you, if I respect you, and that is
exactly.
established and I'm open to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of
Yeah.
thing will she give you like a directive on?
Like how to say something to someone if I'm in
So
conflict
helpful.
with a loved one. Yeah.
So
Like
helpful.
say it this way or I would encourage you to say it this way. How would it feel to say it this way?
She'll give you a line reading.
Yeah, do you think you can? I'm like I'm writing it down word for word. Like hold on a
Oh,
second.
yeah. When you're saying that, I've done that so many times. I will write
Yeah,
it down word for word. Yeah.
exactly. Like rehearsing it in the mirror. So stuff like that or I mean, even she's gone so far lately as to like I'm dealing with a conflict and she's gone so far as to say like you're right and they're wrong, which
That's
I
funny.
really need to hear from somebody that I trust. Like it just instills a confidence in myself that I really need to approach this conflict. And
Yeah.
so for her to give me that assuredness of like, I want you to rest assured, like you're not wrong in this. So like
Okay.
stand strong and like make your point of view known and don't doubt yourself. That's been really like game changing for me too. Like her saying that plays in my head when I'm feeling weak. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I don't know. I'm just happy for you that you're getting back to it. Like it does.
I'm
We're
excited.
not better than it. We're not above it. The podcast isn't enough, et cetera, et cetera.
Oh, I definitely never thought I was better than it. It was just the experience where like the last time I was seeing my therapist last, maybe once a month or at check-ins and stuff. And it would be the thing where I'd show up and I'd be like, this is what I'm struggling with, and this is what I'm supposed to do, this is what you've taught me, and this is the thing. And she'd be like, yes. And I was like, okay, I
Yeah.
don't need to fucking pay you $200 for that. Like, obviously, she changed my life. She changed my life. But like also, you can plateau in any friendship and any whatever. I just needed a new perspective. And it's so exhausting to go find a new therapist. So
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend about it and they were like, we can also move on from therapy in a sec. But a friend was like, a therapist friend was like, there's also something really magical about getting to show up as the person you are today in therapy with a new person, as opposed to who they met when you were 23.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing I feel in my romantic relationship now too. Like last person I dated, we met when I was 23. So no matter how much I changed and developed and evolved to some degree, you are still tethering each other to this person you were when you first met, which is like, that's not the end of the world. Like, that's what will happen in most long-term relationships, and you have to learn to deal with it. But because when that relationship didn't work out, it was really nice to like enter something new and be able to hit the ground running with like who I am today.
Totally.
And someone mentioned that with therapy too, and I was like, that is fucking true. So I'm kind of excited. I'll keep y'all posted on my wellness, but now it's no longer a controlled experiment because we won't know if it's the therapy or if it's that I've stopped eating Tide.
Right. Right. It's correlation, not causation, probably on both, because it's a little bit of both. Yeah.
Yes,
Well,
totally.
you're just on the up and up, and that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to see from you, you know?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have an observation,
Okay.
and I think by observation, I'm like camouflaging that it is a complaint, but I'm going to start it out with an
Okay.
observation. It is a complaint. I have noticed in life, in social media, in the zeitgeist recently, people using the word um enjoyment a lot more.
Really?
Like, I'm experiencing a lot more enjoyment in my relationship, and yeah, it's like it's having a moment, which at first I was like, is that even a word? Like, the word
The,
is joy,
the word is
right?
joy. I knew
The
where you
word
were
is
going.
joy. And then I heard so much of it that I looked it up, and like, it is a word, and what it means is joy. If you look up enjoyment and look up synonyms, the synonym is joy. So I guess I'm not that annoyed. I'm a little annoyed that the word exists,
Right.
when they're both synonyms for, well, yeah, it's a synonym for joy, but I'm more annoyed that people are now saying it as a superior version. Do we need this word? And like, are we aware of why we're all
Right.
using it?
Okay. Yeah. Spot on. Here's my thought. Here's my question. I could see the way that I would use enjoyment is to talk about, which I don't, by the way, but if I were going to be one of these people, I think I would be referring to like the experience of joy, which is
Yeah.
joy, but it's also a little bit different. It's like the ability to be present in your joy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see a distinction. Actually, let's compare. Yeah, because joy is like the thing you're feeling. Enjoyment is like maybe the experience of feeling joy. Hold
Yeah,
on.
that's how I would
Def-
interpret it if I had to
define
distinguish
joy.
between the two, but
That being said, okay, that was fairly, you did a good job with an inane question.
thank you.
I am gonna say that that's not how people are
Yeah,
using it. They're
it's getting
just using it.
overused.
They're using it just to elevate and loftify their social media posts about all the joy they're feeling.
Do you
So
think
the
it's like
joy,
a word in the
def-
algorithm that makes things like right now it's trending, and so if you say enjoyment in a reel, it'll go viral? Is that what they're trying to do?
no. I don't think it's that conscious. I think it's something that they heard other idiots saying, and they're like, that does sound smarter. And so now they're saying it. Okay,
Okay.
the definition, hang on, hold your fucking horses. The definition of joy: a feeling of great pleasure and happiness. Definition of enjoyment: the action of the state or process of taking pleasure in something. So
Yeah,
you actually articulated that correctly. One is the
thank you.
process of feeling the joy, but enjoyment is still a synonym for joy, and these sluts are using it just instead of saying joy, and that is annoying to me
Yeah.
because it's got more syllables in it.
Yeah. Well, you should start saying joy a bunch. Like just really be talking about your joy, which by the way,
He's
joy,
talking about your joy.
I know
I'm
they're
gonna see if I
trying
can
to act
find
like
something with,
enjoyment. I know they're trying to act like
yeah.
enjoyment is such a superior word because it's longer and it seems more like, I don't know, there's something more to it. But I actually think like whenever somebody says that they're experiencing joy, it really
Yeah.
like makes me pause and be like, wow, joy? Not joy. I've never heard of joy. What's that like? Like joy is such a simple word and yet such a like bountiful experience, like feeling to have.
Bountiful. Oh my
You know what I
God,
mean?
I'm getting
It's such a
chills
like
right
abundant
now.
thing, even though it's such a simple word. And I feel like I might often feel happiness or feel like contentment, but joy feels different. So I'm almost
Yeah.
okay with like reserving joy for like when it's really fucking joyful. Like, what's joy? I don't
Okay.
know. Do you know what I'm saying? It's such a big thing.
No, I have no idea what you're saying, but I honestly, I feel like I'm like attending, like I feel like I'm at your church and you're the preacher and I'm feeling the spirit right now. I
I
don't know
think
what you're
I've been
saying
thinking a
though.
lot about like what would joy be as I'm like sick and stressed lately, but
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you've had a lot of cough syrup, I would assume.
there's just something about the word joy that makes me pause and feel like that's big, like that's significant. I don't know.
That's big.
That's big.
That's big.
Um,
That's something my therapist used to say all the time when you'd have some kind of like big feeling statement, she'd be like, "That's huge.
I say
That's
that.
huge.
I
That's
definitely say
huge."
that. It's
You say that
mostly
too.
when I don't know what to say though. It's more like when
It's
somebody's telling me a
mo-
story and I'm like
that's
not that interested.
insignificant. Yeah, when something is specifically not huge, that's
Yeah.
that's just
And
as
I'm
tell.
like,
That's just
wow,
as tell.
huge. That's crazy.
Huge.
That's huge.
Yeah,
That's
for me it's that's
crazy.
crazy. Or yeah, Justin's brother called me out on this the other day where I was not listening to what he was saying. Whatever he was saying, I don't know what it was. And I did my kind of like glazed over face, like eyes barely focused. I'm like miles and miles away. And just that's hilarious. He called me out. And I was like, that's hilarious. And he was like, somehow I don't think you think it's hilarious. I was
Yikes.
like, oh, yeah, I've been seen not listening.
That is
Yeah,
the biggest, like as somebody who tries to be funny a lot and makes tries to make people laugh a lot, when somebody says that's funny or that's hilarious
that's
instead
so
of
funny.
laughing,
Yeah,
I mean, I'll make it my mission to actually get a laugh out of them the rest of the night. That it really like gets under my skin. Even though I
I
say it
understand.
sometimes. Sometimes
But
something is
if you're
funny
saying it, but
without a laugh.
if you're saying it, and you didn't have a big, if you didn't have a big belly laugh and then say that's so funny, you're saying it because it was only medium funny. It's not so funny. If you're
Totally.
saying it, it's only medium funny. There's a whole Seinfeld episode where he's dating a woman who just she doesn't laugh. She'll just be like, "That's so funny." I'm pretty sure that's the
Oh, I
episode. And he's
remember that
like,
one.
obviously, he can't tolerate it, and neither can we.
Yep. Um, okay, speaking of something that like I don't know what to how to take it, how to respond. So
Okay, I'll let you know how. Actually,
please, honestly, please. So a couple weeks ago, went to a friend's wedding and brought my boyfriend with me. And so a lot of people who I don't usually see because they live in different places came in for this wedding and they got to meet him. And there was a moment when like he walked over to the bar or something, and one of my friends from out of town was like, "Oh, he's so great, Jess." Or they said they gave him a compliment
mm-hmm.
to me. And I was like, "Thanks." And then I was like, thanks isn't the right response. I'm not like his mom. I didn't raise him. And
That's
then I
so
was like,
funny.
what are you supposed to say to that? I know that's also a bit like a bit much. Like, okay, relax. Like, we get it. You're dating him.
Relax, relax.
So what do you say
That's
to
funny.
those types of compliments? It's like,
That's
I
funny.
can't take credit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think any of those would be that weird to me. I haven't thought about this before. I get what you're saying. In a way, I don't think it's so weird to say thanks. Not ideal, but like in a way, saying he's so great, like it is a compliment to you because also what they're saying is like you've arrived at the place in you where you choose good people.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like it's the same as like meeting someone's friends and loving all their friends. Like it does reflect well on you, but I also understand not wanting to be like thanks.
I mean, obviously I said this whole monologue in response. Like I said,
To
I was
them.
like, yeah, I was like, thanks. I mean, why did I say
I
thanks? I'm not his
know.
mom, but I guess I picked him, so thanks for the compliment to my pick. Like
Yeah, maybe
And
I
they
am
were
his
like, okay,
mom.
bye. Like, this was weird. Like,
I
you try to say a
oh
nice thing.
yeah, you're like, she's like, dude, I was filling the air. No,
Yeah.
don't even like him that much.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was so strange. Yeah, actually, you know what? He's nice, you're a freak. And then
Yeah.
she
He
went
can
over to
do
him and was
better.
like, yeah, your girl's fucking weird as hell.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be nice to just be like, yeah, he's freaking great. He is freaking great.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
He's sweet as hell.
Okay, yeah. That is a good response. I
It's
think
like I agree. I agree.
I only ever say weird things to that comment. Like, I definitely know that
Sure.
I've said before, like, yeah, he's a sweetie pie. And then I'm like, ew, Jessica, shut up.
No,
Like,
I say weird shit. I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna kiss him till I die. Like
yeah,
that's my response. I don't all the advice I'm giving here is advice I can't take.
right.
I'll be like, yeah, he's so long. Look how tall he is.
I guess
Yeah.
it's I guess it's the same with any compliment though. Like if somebody compliments your shirt and you say thanks, you didn't make the shirt. So in the
That's a
same
good point,
way,
Jess.
it's normal to say thanks. Like you're just
So we're
thanking them
back
for
to
the
square
compliment.
one. Back to
Okay.
square one.
I talked myself off the ledge. Thank you. Mhm.
Yeah, when someone compliments you on your boyfriend, you should just be like, "Thank you, I made him with my body."
Yeah. I birthed
That's
him.
obviously, yeah. That's
I
obviously what
did.
you
And
say.
then it gets into something weird about like, thank you, I manifested him. Like, not that,
Yeah,
please. Never
didn't
that.
even he didn't even exist until I put my mind to it.
Until I wrote it down in my journal. Yeah.
Right. Wow.
I need to take a deep breath for my throat right now. So just give me that.
I'm gonna watch you take this deep breath. Let's see how you do it.
I wish I had my inhaler. I actually don't.
Yeah, why don't you get your inhaler?
No, it's so far. It's like across
It's
the
it's
room.
in the room though. It's in the room. Just go get it. Just go
I
get
don't
it.
need it.
I know you're gonna say it's at Ryan's.
I
Go get
don't
it.
need it. No, no, it's here. I don't need that bitch. I don't need it.
Okay.
I don't need that
Okay.
male
Except
bitch.
you know what? We all need to accept support at times.
Not today.
You need your
I'm
inhaler.
just looking for my notes. That's more
Oh,
important.
I have stuff to
The
say. I
show
have stuff to
must go
say.
on.
It's just more complaints. Do you want that?
I do. I do.
Yeah, I have another complaint. Obviously, I have infinite
Okay.
complaints.
I've been
My
racking them
thoughts
up.
are my thoughts are just complaints. And you're welcome. Here's a complaint. Here's a complaint I don't think I've heard anyone complain about, but I'm thinking it pretty much nonstop. Um, there's a bunch of like marriage related countdowns that people do on social media. Yes, that's the correct face Jess is making, right? Her eyes rolled back, squinted, her tongue came out. Yeah. There's a bunch of marriage related countdowns. There's one people do on Instagram where they're like, I saw this the other day. It was like 75 days to go until I marry my best friend. So,
Oh,
first of all, 75 days, we're a while out. You better not think you're going to do this fucking countdown to your
mm-mm.
wedding for 75 fucking days. I don't even know when this dude started the countdown. 75 days, that's so okay, maybe like 3 days. Also,
Right.
don't ever do a countdown. Don't ever do a countdown. Why the fuck would I care? Who cares? But then I also see people do it for this doesn't even make sense. Once they're married and they're doing it to count anniversaries, but what they say is they're like 1 year down, forever to go. So let me clarify. You're counting down to your death. Yeah. You're counting on your death and you're counting down to it the same way that you like are the same way you would tick off like doing your 10 push-ups. You're counting one down, got that year out of the way, got that fucking miserable year with you out of the way, forever to go. I guess they'll never fucking end. Like, you understand the connotation of this countdown is not positive.
Right.
It makes a little more sense counting down to your wedding, like, oh, get these stupid days out of the way till I get to marry you. But after the wedding, you got to rearrange the situation. Now you're just counting down till you get to die and you don't have to be married to him anymore, is what you're saying.
Yep. Yep. I mean, you've never said anything better. You've never complained about anything better than that.
Thank
Like
you. Thank
it
you.
really has driven me crazy and I haven't been able to explain it the way that you just did. It's also, I mean, it
Yeah.
is a symptom of this thing where like I know that
Nobody
people who get
cares.
married, they're
Nobody
leading up to
cares.
this big day. It's really exciting. And then on the
Nobody
other side of it,
cares.
you're like, there's no excitement anymore. And so
I
now they have to
know
like,
that's what it is.
they have to base everything off of that exciting day that they had a year ago, 2 years ago,
Yeah,
whatever. You know, it's
I don't like
also, I
it.
mean, this is fucking hot take, but Nikki Glazer said it at her comedy show that I went to recently, so I can say it and not be blamed. It's hers, not mine. JK. I definitely have thought this so many times. It's also like a big reason in my view that a lot of people end up having kids is like, oh, there's nothing exciting anymore. We got married. Like the going to
Totally.
school and growing up and having all the milestones in my career and then meeting my person and then having the milestones with them and getting engaged and getting married. All that's behind me. And now it's just
Totally.
forever to go until I
Yeah.
die. So what's
Oh,
something else
I
I can
agree.
do? I'll have a
I
kid.
agree. I agree, and I'm someone who really wants kids. And obviously, it's not everybody, but I do think
Yeah.
that each of those things people sometimes turn into their purpose. Like
Yes.
everyone needs purpose. If you don't have purpose in your life, that's basically depression. Like everybody craves purpose in some form, and purpose can be your kids, it can be your career, it can be your hobby, it can be how you fuel your friendships, it can be how you support your partner, it can be a million different things. But if you don't have like a good strong sense of purpose, then I think that's when counting down to my wedding, having the party, getting that moment becomes your purpose, and then you lose it and you need a new one.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think that's the danger of not having a diverse like incoming purposes.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm happy to hear you say that because to me it seems obvious and it doesn't mean that people shouldn't have kids. Like have kids, do whatever you want to do
I
with your
should.
life.
I should.
Um, but I feel like if it's only coming from a place of like trying to fill a void because you no longer have purpose, like just check in with yourself about that. And the same goes
I
for
mean,
any of
I don't
these
know.
decisions and milestones. And
I think it's like
also,
a pointless observation. I don't think anyone is ever going to be able to self-identify that they're having
really,
kids just to fill the void. No, no. I mean, maybe if they're like going to deep therapy, they talk through and I don't think they're getting it from us saying it on a podcast. Nobody identifies as that. Like,
I guess I would appreciate if more people were able to just say it. You can still do it. I'm not stopping you, but like the self-awareness. I actually do have a friend who said to me who has always wanted kids, very similar to you. She's always wanted kids and
yeah,
now they're like preparing to have kids and doing IVF and all these things. So
yeah,
really really wants it and always has, but also was able to say to me, you know, things have kind of been like slow and weird and like work is frustrating me and whatever.
yeah.
I feel like it's going to give me a purpose that I'm really craving right now. And I was like, that is badass of you to just say it. That's cool. It will
Well,
give you
so
purpose. Great.
yeah, I don't think it's a bad, I don't think it's a reason, I don't think it's like a wrong reason to have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe what I'm actually talking about more is people who are just like they don't know what to do. And so something could be happening
Yeah.
if they got to share the excitement of being pregnant and having a countdown to the pregnancy.
Totally.
Because I
Those are
don't
the people I
actually
worry about.
like, of course, I don't actually think it's bad to want to make purpose in your life by getting to love someone like that. Yeah, it's super valid. But yeah, I can't articulate the distinction. People are annoying, basically.
Oh,
If it's on
100%.
Instagram, it's annoying. People are annoying.
I know, but I'm still on there all the time. I'm one of the annoying people on there all the time. You know, I can't fucking stop.
That's so
I
funny.
have I seen anything annoying on Instagram lately? Let me think. I have a lot of notes and I just can't decide which way to go. Do you want a complaint? Do you
Almost
want
always.
a funny thought that will be short? Or do you want like a pop culture commentary?
Pop culture commentary.
Okay. And this does actually come segue off of Instagram a little bit because it has to do with, and we're a few weeks late, whatever. She's still doing her thing out there. Bobbi Althoff,
Althoff,
um,
yeah.
who is a new viral podcaster. Like she started a podcast a couple months ago. I think it's called The Really Good Podcast. And if you haven't seen her online, which would shock me if you're a person that
Seems
spends time online,
impossible.
um, she does this bit where she's like basically this really uninterested person, like a character
interviewer.
interviewer. She interviews particularly rappers, but she's branched out more recently, but like really big names in the music business or in who are celebrities in general. And the interview that made her blow up was an interview she had with Drake, that if you hear her talk about how she got that interview, she had interviews with like some other rappers and comedians beforehand, so he had seen and become aware of her, but then she just slid into his DMs and it worked out for her and he got on her show, and that's what really blew up, went viral, and now she's like a podcaster with sponsorships and a management team and making money and all this stuff. So I naturally went into a deep dive about her because I'm jealous, and I just felt like I needed to own that up front. Like, I spent a couple hours watching clips of her on YouTube, watching her podcast, watching her interviewed on a different podcast, and I was trying to figure out like, what is it about this girl that got her here? And a lot of it is luck, of course, and she'll say that herself. And then like a few hours later, I was like, what are you doing, Jess? Like, I wasn't even enjoying the content. I actually don't really, I thought like some of the clips on Instagram are funny, but when you actually go listen to the whole podcast or watch the whole thing, I was like, I don't need an hour of this character. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure it out, and I don't know, hours and hours spent on it. Where I landed is I'm jealous. Do you know how many times I've DM'd Drake? He's not answered me once. I actually can go into my DMs with Drake right now and tell you what I've said to him.
Read your DMs to Drake. Oh my fucking God.
I was just like, it really made me mad that she went on some podcast and told this story about how she got big. And
so, Jess,
that was her answer. I DM'd Drake.
Yeah. What? Okay. So there actually is, there's actual questions around how like people in the industry I listen to like one of my favorite podcasts about content creation and the content creator economy is like Colin and Samir. They're on YouTube, they have a podcast, and they did like a whole bit diving into, they're kind of like authorities in the field and of content creation, and they do interviews and like research, and it's essentially journalism, but they also do interviews and stuff with different content creators. And they had this whole like section where they haven't gotten her on their podcast yet, but they were just like, it actually like doesn't really add up, or at least the information that's out there, the information that's available about how she built this doesn't make sense. Maybe there's more to it that they're just not sharing, but you are correct to do the dive, because like luck doesn't really account for most of it. It's a little bit of a mystery, and it's a little intriguing. Like, that's not really like she's so funny. First of all, she's so funny. Talent, no one's questioning the talent. Sure. Doing the work, she hasn't done it for that long. A lot of people worked a lot longer, but like people go viral, like that happens. Luck happens. DMing people, getting a lucky break, building something, like those things happen, but like something about how exactly it came together doesn't quite add up. Based on the information that at least is available, or based on what she's sharing. So it's a totally legitimate question, and that's also fair. Totally understandable to be jealous. But honey, the time will come.
The time will come. I know the time will come. Now, my DMs will pay off.
Read your fucking Drake DMs right now. Okay. If Drake isn't on this podcast like within 5 years,
like tomorrow,
then I don't know what is real.
On February 7th, 2020.
Sure. Okay, so like
a depressed time for me.
But I was gonna say, but this isn't even in the pandemic yet. You can't blame this on like pandemic. You're right. Pandemic hadn't even started yet.
I was thinking 2021. This was actually the peak of my life.
Thriving. Yeah, everyone was thriving. Okay, so that explains it.
So that explains it. He came out with a song. I can't remember what this song is called, but there's a lyric in it that's like, haven't paid my taxes, I'm too turned up. And I was turned up, I'm sure. Let's see if I can see. Oh, 6 p.m., not midnight or anything. I just texted him out of the blue. Did you pay your taxes yet, Daddy?
Oh my God.
DM'd him on Instagram. Okay, May 14th, 2020. About a month later, we're now in the pandemic. We're all at home, stranded. I said,
Right. And you're like, I'm just gonna follow up with him because I think he's got more time on his hands now. Probably.
exactly.
He
It's
must have missed my first message.
10:30 p.m. Want to go on a virtual date this weekend?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You were not doing this was not an incorrect approach though, because it seems like
Thank
this
you.
is how he enjoys creating like alternative PR for himself. Like I could see him, based on the kinds of PR he's chosen, I could see him doing like a random virtual date with a rando. With a
Exactly.
random
And
fan.
May 14th, I feel like that was like a week, literally a week into quarantine or something, maybe less than
Yeah.
that, a couple
You
days.
know what? No
Or
one was
sorry,
even
March.
talking about. No one was even talking about virtual dating at this point. You basically invented it in that DM.
Exactly. I was
Yeah,
like, I'm
exactly.
onto something. And if I get in on this now, I was also, that
Yeah,
was the time period when I was like thinking about, I was like trying to be on TikTok. I was like thinking about starting a podcast, like all these things.
yeah.
So,
You're thinking about
like
fucking
Bobbi
Drake.
Althoff, I was like, go to Daddy Drake, see what he can do for me.
Oh,
Um,
daddy.
Daddy. Yeah. So I don't know. It just made me mad. There are a lot of conspiracy theories that she's an industry plant. I don't know what to make of it. She has been, I guess, like on mom TikTok for a couple years.
What exactly does an industry plant even mean? I don't really get that. I think that there could be like weird things behind the scenes about her being an industry plant, but maybe I don't really get what that means.
I think that's what they mean by that. Like
Oh,
maybe
okay.
she's
There's
connected.
just extra strings behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think,
Okay.
okay, if her podcast was blowing up and she happened to have people on it that Drake knew, so that when he saw her DM come through, he responded to it and
Oh,
went on. But how did she get those people before him? It's almost
that's what I
less
was saying.
about the Drake
Yeah.
of it all.
I think that's what I heard is that, like, first of all, we're just starting gossip drama here. No one's researching shit. Don't fact check this unless you can find it on
It's
Wikipedia.
not out there.
But
I did a deep dive. I did
it's not out
research.
there. But I did hear that I think like he, and all those other early artists were all represented by WME talent agency.
Right.
But that doesn't even have to be conspiratorial. That could be like they connected you. Somebody was like, "Oh, she's shared that her ultimate goal is to become an actress, and so this would be a great way to push the wannabe actor you're representing." But to me, as a prior actor, that doesn't make any fucking sense. You know how many people want to become an actress and
Yeah,
are represented by an agent, and that doesn't mean that
that's not
Drake
it.
responds to your agent's calls. That doesn't explain anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a little mysterious, but who knows?
The moral of
She's
the
super
story,
funny. She's super funny.
she's super funny and also she's not. And let me say why. She is funny for sure. And the bit is funny. But kind of what I
Well,
said
it's a little one
earlier,
note. It's a little
it's
one
one
note.
note. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know how you build a whole podcast off of, I mean, she is, I guess you just get different people on to do the bit with you. But like, that's part of what's making me jealous and making me annoyed about it is like, it's one note and it kind of gets old. And I'm like, we're not one note. We're doing like 7,000 things.
Yeah, but Jesse Jess, this is what we do. This is what we do when you feel jealousy, which is the most relatable. You can feel it in a million different areas of your life, friends, family, relationship, professional. This is how I feel about professional jealousy when it pops up for me is like, would I change anything about what I'm doing? No. Then the
No,
rest doesn't matter.
I'm
It
already
really doesn't
DMing
matter.
Drake.
It really, yeah, you're already DMing Drake. There's nothing much else to do. And the fact, like, okay, yes, I also think that it is a little one note. My prediction, which I could be totally wrong, my prediction is that she doesn't seem, this is the benefit of having a lot of experience and having worked creatively for a while, is that you've racked up um like more tricks to pull out of your bag. You can sustain a career because a lot of people, when they get lucky early on, they then get a lot of opportunities, but they often like they don't have a second, third, fourth idea to make the next movie, to do the next show, to do the next podcast, and then it doesn't take off for them. So it actually really doesn't. It's not a good thing to
Yeah.
like get your lucky chance too early before you've learned how to develop like a repertoire. And it doesn't seem like she has that. So my guess based on that is that like I don't think it's gonna last too long for her, but even if it did, it's not a zero-sum game. She can
Right.
have a successful thing doing the thing that she does well, and you can have a successful podcast, and it's just not a zero-sum game. Whenever I feel jealousy, like over another YouTube channel, and I'm like, fuck, I don't want other people to watch that YouTube channel. What I have to remind myself is like, if the only way people are going to watch my YouTube channel is that they never get to hear about other YouTube channels,
Totally.
then I'm not making a compelling product. That's like the way that's like the way a lot of like extreme churches and religions run. The only way they can thrive is by blocking education about other offerings in life.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the if that's the only way you can like get believers or get viewers, you're not offering a very compelling product. There's room for lots out there. It's not a
You're
zero sum
right.
game. It's true. It's
You're
true.
right.
Okay.
Totally agree with you. I think for me, the way I just channel jealousy is like, okay, that shows me that that's what I want, which I guess I already knew, but it's
Yeah.
more confirmation of like, okay, still want that, still interested in that. Cool. Keep
Yeah.
going. Keep going.
Yeah.
Um, there was something else I was going to say about it. I guess we can move on. Shoot, what was it? Oh, the one note thing. I really liked what you said about that. I guess I'm already envisioning, and that's fine. She can have this. It's not like I was going to have this, but I'm already envisioning, you know, how Emma Chamberlain, after she blew up, she started doing the Vogue interviews on the red carpet for like the Met Gala and stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
mark my words, it's going to be Bobbi Althoff in her character next year.
Yeah.
And I love like a wildest dream scenario is like hosting gig for me. I love the idea of like doing hosting gigs like that.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, that just makes me like just
Okay.
makes me jealous. But whatever.
Yeah, it's so understandable. I get it. I just promise you, your day shall come and you shall be better prepared. You really don't, I don't know, there's something in entertainment you don't necessarily want big things too
The
early.
fast
I swear
break.
to God. I swear to God. Like, first of all, I think I'm ready for big things. I've been doing this fucking shit forever. But I wouldn't want what Bobbi Althoff has.
Yeah, fair
Like
enough.
it's actually going to be difficult for her. I don't know. I guess it depends. It actually depends where she wants to go. If she just wants to go into acting, like that could work for her. But it just don't matter. There's room for all of us.
There's room for all of us. If she's on SNL, I'm gonna choke a bitch. We can move on.
Yeah. I had like a kind of funny, sweet moment the other day.
Yeah.
I went on a date with my parents and went with them together, which I don't always do. I talk to my soul up. I like to
Yeah.
separate them sometimes to make sure everyone behaves. But this is just easier to have your one-on-one dynamics. Like I have my relationship with my dad, relationship with my mom. It's easier to have those. But we went out excuse me. We went out together to this really like sweet date night and we all just had a blast, which like doesn't always happen when you're hanging out with your parents. We were all surprised. We were
Yeah.
all surprised by it. And we were all surprised by it. And they came to DC from the suburbs. They came to DC. We went to a really sweet wine bar. And then they drove me home afterwards. I think I'd taken an Uber for some reason. And they like offered to drop me off at my apartment. And I got out of the car. Oh, I gotta sneeze.
Bless you.
I got out of the car. My mom like gave me a hug and a kiss. My dad gave me a hug and a kiss. And I started walking up to my apartment. And my mom yelled out, she's like, we'll wait till you get inside.
Oh.
And and first of all, that it reminded me of like how I remember parents always saying that when you were a kid and they would drop you off at your house and they would like, you're dropping a kid off, you want to make sure that they get inside, that someone's actually home to let them in, that the parents are in or they have their keys. I remember them always saying that. And I don't know, that from my mom, who's not
Mm.
like super tender, that from my mom, it felt like so tender and loving to me. It was like so unnecessary, but I loved it. It felt really sweet from my mom. And just like I was like a little kid again, and she cared
Oh.
that I was going to be okay. And it also made me think about how I distinctly remember, I think I always loved that feeling. For some reason, that really captured like the way I wanted to be cared for when I was a kid. And I remember when it stopped happening. I remember clocking it as maybe like a teenager. And you'd still get rides home sometimes, and they would drop you at your door in your driveway. And then all of a sudden one year the cars just started pulling away. And I was like, you don't want to
Mm.
see if I'm gonna get inside? You don't want to see if I'm gonna get
Wow.
inside? And I really remember when it stopped. It was the same time where for many years as like a young girl, if you're like walking alone, it's like a young girl, if you're walking alone, people will check in on you. Strangers will be like, are you okay? Are you
Yeah.
lost? Or like, for some reason, I was often like stranded on highways, like walking on like, I don't know
In New
why.
York City on highways.
in DC
Oh, here,
on
like growing
highways
up.
as a child growing up. For some reason, like I remember several times where like my sister or my mom would be fighting over who would pick me up, and I would get fed up with no one picking me up, and I'd be like, I'm walking home, and I would walk like 15 miles home to like prove a
Oh my
point that no one
gosh.
cared about. And I remember I would like often like end up on a highway or some shit, and people would always like pull over or like ask if you need help, are you okay? And then I remember this age, I was in New York. I was older when that stopped happening, when they stopped asking like a young girl walking alone if she was okay. And
Wow.
like there's no one did anything wrong, but I just so distinctly remember clocking that, where I was like, you guys don't care if I'm okay anymore. Like nobody's worried about, I'm still not okay. I'm still eating Tide, but like no one's checking in on me.
Don't let this girl who's filled with Tide Pods walk on the street alone.
Yeah.
That's so interesting that that's like a core memory or like a pivotal feeling that you crave and that you like notice when it went away. I'm fascinated by that. I'm trying to think of something similar for myself. I mean, I agree that that's a really nice
Do you
feeling, but
remember do you remember that shift, like both sides of that as a kid?
I don't. And my parents are extremely overprotective and
Yeah.
overly that way. I almost don't know if it's stopped for me. Like, my family is the family that our entire group text is boarded landed. And I was driving back from this wedding a couple weeks ago, and my dad texted me a few hours after he expected that I had arrived back in Chicago to be like, just making sure you got back to your apartment and you're
Yeah.
you're off the
Yeah.
road. So like my parents still do that stuff a lot. Maybe the fact that they do it so willingly and like almost too much makes it something that I don't particularly
Okay.
value or notice.
I will say
Um,
my parents are, in a lot of ways, my parents, they're amazing parents and they care about me a lot, and we are involved in each other's lives a lot, but in a lot of ways they're not involved. They
yeah.
definitely never check about the flights. They don't give a fuck. I'll be like, I'm taking off, and they're like, please delete my number. Like they're they I think it's because my dad's a little warmer these days, but when we were growing up, my dad was pretty um distant,
Mhm.
and my mom is not super tender. So I think those little moments were like so meaningful.
Yeah, totally. I can see
Yeah.
that. Does Justin do that or do your friends? Because for me, when I kind of clocked that this was a thing, was more in my adulthood when like a friend would drop me off after we hung out late and a girlfriend, and they would wait for me to get inside. Or after
So
my first date with my
yeah.
boyfriend, he sent me a text that was like, I'm kind of like showing my old man here, but I just want to make sure you got home okay or something. Like those little moments I clock more than
Yeah.
with my family.
My girlfriends do it a lot, and I will say I don't know what to make of this, but it doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Um it is meaningful coming from my boyfriend, and he'll do that. I think more, I don't know. Maybe it's because someone older or my boyfriend could theoretically actually protect me. And all of my friends are 5'3". Like they can't protect me. It's a nice sentiment. And actually, I do
Yeah.
think it's important to do with girlfriends, because a lot of time you're going out together, you're getting drunk. Um, I remember one time, just a couple months ago, the guy with the weird skin behind his ear sent me home after a date at 3 a.m. and I was really drunk and I did not remember walking home, and it was extremely
Oh,
dangerous. Like I should not have been sent. We just like left a bar really late, and I was like, wow, I should not have been I don't remember walking home alone at 3 a.m. And if you're going out with girlfriends or whatever, I do think that's really important to do, to check in. But after like a dinner, I feel like, girls will just do it after dinner and it's like, yeah, I did get in.
yeah.
But I want to hear it from a parent.
Yeah, I get it. Well,
Yeah.
that's sweet that you had that moment with your mom. That's like, I need to think of what my version of that is, because I'm in a constant like battle of how much my parents are
Yeah.
too involved in my life and overprotective, and think that they have more of a like say and influence and like
It's
control
very different.
over
Yeah.
things than they really should or they really do. So
It
it's
makes
a
sense
nice
how,
reminder to hear the other side and be like, okay, it it comes from a good place. What did you say in your hater hour that I'm so good at? Patience and humility with my parents? Probably not. Probably not. With everyone else?
we we all show up in
Absolutely.
a special way with our family. We all show up as our worst selves usually with our family.
Yeah, totally.
But for you, I don't think that should change how you feel about. I mean, it's nice to be able to have that empathy for your mom, but it's like you have it's a fucking different landscape over there for you. So I think the equivalent for you wouldn't be like, have a little more gratitude. It's like, no, but maybe it's just whatever is the rare thing. Maybe the rare tenderness that you get to feel from your mom is when she respects your space.
Yeah,
Like that's
it
the
is.
rare thing where, like, to me, I'd be like, they're respecting my space too much. Call me sometimes,
Yep.
you know.
Yeah, actually totally nailed it. I love that. Well, I'll let you know when
Wow.
that happens.
Yeah, let me know. Oh,
Let's see.
literally,
Let's see. I have
yeah.
let me end on a funny complaint to bring it home, shall I?
Okay. Yeah, you shall.
I shouldn't have called it funny because it's not that funny, but maybe you'll say that was funny instead of laughing.
Okay.
I'm just a little okay. I've expressed complaints about glasses before, and I know glasses like eyeglasses, and I know that I'm going to start getting DMs that are like, you've now complained about eyeglasses enough times where I'm going to tell you to get LASIK. And that is a fair offer. That is a fair suggestion. I'll consider it. Until then, eyeglasses are not doing enough for me. I'm currently sick, as we can all hear, and I want to wear my glasses because I'm sick at home, just being cozy. It's stupid to put on contacts on a day like that. But when you wear
So that's
glasses
such an
and you
interesting
have
take.
congestion in your nose, it
Yeah,
it like pushes the snot down
not
and
good.
makes it worse. So I can't wear my glasses on like a lazy day at home when I'm sick because of that. It's it's vile. It's like offensive to me that that's the way. Can they figure that out?
Wait. I need to circle back to why contacts are not a viable option in this
They
scenario
are a
because it's a
viable
lazy day at home.
option.
To me,
Yeah,
putting in
I
my contacts is like getting dressed. Like if I still have my glasses on, I feel like I'm in my PJs.
okay. For me, if I'm spending a lazy day, I don't really wear my glasses unless it's like lazy day at home or early morning, late night. Um,
Okay.
Other than that, I'm wearing like when I go out of the house and go do things, when I go out with my friends, whatever, I'm wearing contacts. Day to day, I do wear contacts. But if I'm sick or if I'm having an ugly night or like all those things are kind of in the same category,
Yeah.
I want to wear my glasses. I don't want to have to put in the effort
Well,
of
yeah.
contacts.
Okay.
I also wear daily contacts. So to waste a pair of contacts on a day that I'm sitting at home when I could be wearing glasses, they're expensive. I wear
It's
dailies. I
so
throw them
funny.
away after every use.
So do I. So do I. I have dailies now. Best move I ever made. But
Yeah.
like, so that means to me that like your dailies are like, I need to be witnessed if I'm going to use up a pair of
Yeah,
dailies.
it's like putting on makeup.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. I'm going to
check
use
me out in
this
my
makeup to sit home.
contacts.
Yeah. Look at my fucking unprotected eyeballs.
I'm surprised that you don't relate to that. Like, I wonder, I just thought that was a normal thing. Like, when we're all just being sitting in our filth at home, we're wearing glasses. No?
I hate having something on my face, which does, yes, make it very hard to have bangs. But that's not a choice for me. That's not a choice. But I hate having stuff on my face. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I always want to take the glasses off.
Well, I am wearing
I'm
contacts.
sorry. Wait, let me do a better job of validating you.
No, it's fine. Somebody will send me a DM like the month moon debacle that I got so many DMs being like, Jess, don't let her tell you you're wrong. I was like, calm down. I don't care that much. This I care about. DM me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that your felt experience is wrong. You feel it in the
My
feel it in the
enjoyment
body.
or
You put it on the
disenjoyment.
spine. Yes, your disenjoyment. I don't fully relate, but
You put in
what
contacts
about
every single day. Every
yeah,
day of the
baby.
week.
Yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah. What about like
Ugly
a
Sunday.
monocle? What about like a monocle? Yeah, because on Ugly Sunday, listen, if I feel too ugly, I'm getting depressed.
Okay.
I sometimes I put clothes on and do my hair just because like if I don't, I'm never coming out again.
Yeah,
So,
fair.
but like monocle, I literally please get a monocle. It doesn't even rest on your nose at all. Two separate monocles.
I think it would
Does it rest on
still
each
push
cheek?
on this sinus because it's not just the nose, it's also like
You're
the parts of the
impossible.
cheeks that attach to
You're
the nose.
impossible. You're saying you won't just wear a double monocle? Okay,
Double monocle.
fucking entitled. Fucking entitled.
Are
Okay.
double
What
monocles for
about
real? Does that exist?
no? I mean, you could get two
I
monocles and
guess you
wear
could,
them.
but the purpose of a monocle is when you only need it for one eye.
Yeah,
What's the
yeah.
purpose of
What's the purpose of a monocle as opposed to a bonacle or a bionicle? But wait,
bonacle?
a bonacle.
A
It's a
bonacle.
bonacle.
It's a bonacle.
I can't believe they don't like. Can't you get some kind of like baseball cap? You look real cute in a cap that has your lenses just popping down from the rim.
That could be cool. Yeah, I'm open to that. Out of everything you've said, I'm most open to that because I do look really good in a cap.
Yeah, or like some kind of like neck brace where the glasses detach from the bottom.
Oh, I do
Or
like
like
turtlenecks.
a
Could it be
retainer
like,
that comes up. Yeah, something comes out of a turtleneck or something that like attaches to your retainer
yeah.
or
All
something.
right. I should have been clear when I opened this topic that I not only wanted to complain, but I wanted solutions. And so thank you for finally getting there. Yeah. It is important to tell your loved ones, I'm looking for listening. I'm looking for
for
solutions.
listening.
Tell them what you need.
I know. You have to say it up top or I will fucking drown you in solutions. Good ones at that, because this is a science podcast and we're inventors.
It is for two science women. Are we done? Was this
We're two
science?
science women. We're fucking done. This has been Not For Everyone. You can follow us on Instagram at Not For Everyone Pod. If you want to contribute, correct us on facts that we say. Tell us who's right and who's wrong. Send
Pit
in
us against each other.
Yeah, pit us against each other. Honestly, that would be like, it's gonna be this fucking like amicable bullshit that we have. Isn't talk about one note. Talk about one note. We can't build a podcast on that forever. We have to have some drama eventually.
We're too respectful. One note.
We're too respectful. And neither of us, well, I'm pretty dramatic, but Jess is so amenable. I don't know if we'll have a proper fight unless it comes from the DMs. So
yeah, fair enough.
if you want us to become as famous as Bobbi Althoff, send something divisive.
Or comment on something that Drake has posted recently and tag us. Like, everyone decide on one of his posts and just tag Not For Everyone Pod. You guys can figure that out, right? Do that.
Talk about it. Talk about it in the Facebook group and
talk about
decide which one. There is no Facebook group if you're confused. That was a joke.
But somebody could start one. I'm not on Facebook, but if someone else wants to do that, like, go for it. I do think it would be cool for our listeners to be able to like chat with each other, make friends. Cool.
I know, but then what if they turn against us? What if they're like, geez, everyone think Caroline sucks? And then they have like an outlet to talk about it.
I don't know. That's part of the showbiz, babe.
That's showbiz, baby. You can follow Jess on Jess DeBakey on Instagram. Find me on YouTube, Caroline Winkler. And this I always say that. This episode was edited and produced by Abby Newhouse. We love you.
Kisses. See you guys.